Today is March 16th, 2023. The market, last I looked, was up like 300 points today. Some of the regional banks, were up. The market was up overall. But today I wanted to talk about where I believe the market is at. I believe we're in a really difficult situation right now economically. I have two sons that went to school, got degrees in economics. So it's a really good time to be an economist and the studying of the markets. About a month ago, I made a video on where I believe the market was at. In October, we hit the lows, and I believe we was going to go back down to those lows, and it mainly had to do with, I was going off of the 1970s, the last time the Fed really had to fight inflation. So I was using that as a matrix. We went down, we bounced back up, and then we went down and made new lows. And I believe we're going to repeat that. I didn't know why, but I believe that was going to be something that we was going to repeat. So what's happening in the market today is that First Republic Bank other banks is coming to the rescue. Putting in $20 billion, I believe it's $20 billion in deposits to try to help that regional bank from going under, which would be the third regional bank. Credit Suisse also had to borrow $54 billion from the Swiss government to save that bank. So we have a real banking crisis. And I believe it's going to be really, really hard to fix because we're fighting inflation and we got a bank crisis going on at the same time. The ECB raised interest rates today by 50 basis points, which I believe was a really bad move. I mean, you're raising interest rates at the same time that we have bank failures. And remember from our video yesterday, the reason for these bank failures is that the banks have bonds on their books that as the interest rate go up, the bond prices go down. And like the reason why no one wants to purchase a First Republic Bank is because if a bank goes in and purchases it, it has to mark down the bond. So if a bank buys another bank, they just can't have the bond sitting on their books. They have to actually mark them down, which would decrease their book value. That's why no one wants to buy it. And so the ECB raising interest rates, I believe is a really bad mistake. Now the Federal Reserve meets next week, and everybody's predicting that they're supposed to raise interest rates by 20 basis points, by 25 basis points. I'm hoping they don't do that. I'm hoping they recognize that we're in a bank crisis, and most times crises start with banks. And when I say crisis, I don't believe that this is a 2008 crisis, but I believe that we're truly in a crisis. And if you watch some of my past videos, you know that I made the majority of my money in 2009, well, from the 2008-2009 crisis. I was lucky that I had a decent amount of money on the sideline. I had some stocks at the time, but I had some money on the sideline, so I was able to go in and buy. It was a real crisis. I was able to go in and buy Bank of America at $2. I was able to buy American Express at $10. I was able to make a lot of really good purchases at the time because we were in a crisis. And all I did was I just went what I felt was going to survive. So I decided I'm not going to purchase anything. This week, yesterday I bought some Warner Brothers, when the market was down at its low. As you know from my past videos, Warner Brothers Discovery is one of my favorite stocks. So I picked up some of those, but I'm decided I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until Monday. I believe the Federal Reserve is going to have to do something over the weekend to stem the crisis. So today is Thursday, so tomorrow is Friday. I'm hoping it kind of calms down a little bit. And I'm hoping there's not another bank that's a crisis. As you know, I did pick up some Key Bank. I like Key Bank because it's a real estate play. It's a really big regional bank that has small depositors. So I did add to Warner Brothers, but I didn't add no more. And I'm just looking at my notes to make sure that I cover everything. But as I said, this is not a 2008 crisis, I don't believe. But I believe we're in a crisis. And it's kind of what the Fed wanted. They wanted to slow the economy down. But I think that they're going to slow it down a little too much. Silicon Valley Bank was really, really important to startups. Big banks wouldn't loan money to startups, and Silicon Bank, that was their specialty, which is one of the reasons, why they went under, because it was a small, concentrated bank that was mainly with startups, and they was all able to pull their money out really, really fast. But that part of the economy is hurt. So startup companies are hurt, banks are hurt. As you know, I own Dairy Queens. I believe if I wanted to open a Dairy Queen today, I don't believe no bank will loan me the money, because they don't want money going out of the bank. They need to keep money in the banks. So I believe it's going to hurt small business. It's going to hurt mid-sized businesses. And as I said, it's going to hurt startups because there's no one to loan money there. But as we know, always in the past, the Federal Reserve is going to come some, and they've done a lot so far. They've pretty much insured all deposits to get people to stop having to run on the banks. So that was a really strong move. The banks coming together and trying to save First Republic Bank is a really strong move. But as with anything, and as I talk about it, and I know I say we're in a crisis and it's negative, but remember, as an investor, you always take advantage of crisis. You try to pick up, as an investor, you really never want, if you're a buyer of stocks, you really never want the market to go up. You want to buy good companies at good prices, and eventually, once you purchase everything that you own, you eventually want, the market to go up. So I hope this video today, you found it, helpful. I hope you're able to profit from it. And if you like this information that I put out, I'm going to try to put out a video every day, just to the people that follow me, to tell you where I believe that I'm at in the market, what I did, the things that I think that benefited me and made me have a better understanding of what's going on in the market. And I want to see people prosper. Thank you. You have a good night.